Listen to this track, bitch.
Hey, yeah, boy. Hey, yeah. And like that, we back. Beauty and the Beats. Right here with my host. Doing the most.
I always do the most. The one and only. You say it.
Jessica Dime, a.k.a. Dime Piece.
Yeah, you got to put the dime piece in it.
Come on, man. We got a very special guest in the building, man. My dog, my good friend. You know what I'm saying? My neo soul brother, man. Musiq Soulchild.
Hey.
Welcome.
What's happening?
Yeah.
This is a good one.
Come on, man. We got Philly in the building, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yes, sir.
special up there in Philly, man.
Yep.
A lot of eclectic, special, just gifted musicians.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of dope folks and came from the city, man. What was it like coming up?
It was
Philly.
interesting, man. Like it's when it's all you know, you don't think much of it until you leave and you realize other places ain't like it. You know, so you learn to appreciate it outside of it. You know, it's kind of hard to see when you're in it, but when you start moving around and you start realizing not only, you know, you can't find the same thing anywhere else, but other people look up to it everywhere else. And it's like, oh, I come from somewhere really special. I didn't know. You
Yeah.
know? So it's definitely a blessing. It's an honor, you know, to be able to say that I come from such a significant town, especially in music, for other reasons as well, in other parts of life, but specifically, you know, music. It was definitely a breeding ground for a lot of innovative, creative, and in a way of saying it, new ways of doing things. When you know you're consumed by, you know, or you're surrounded by soul music, you know, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's like you're literally, it's almost like you're eating it, you know.
Yeah.
You're not eating it with your mouth, as you know, with food. It's like you're soaking it up, you know, in your spirit. You're soaking it up in your soul. You're soaking it up in your essence, and everything that you become is, you know, that's a part of it. So even if it's not what you're looking for, what you're trying to do, it's a part of who you are, and people pick up on it, and it shows in everything that you do. So
Facts.
shouts out to Philadelphia.
Oh, facts. Who was some of the artists coming up? Like who was inspiring you? What was your first show that you went to, you know, as a teen or as a kid?
It's crazy. I didn't really go to a lot of shows because I didn't really understand show culture. I wasn't really trying to be in the music industry, so it never really appealed to me like that. I was a fan of a lot of people, you know, so I would get the magazines and I would watch the videos and I would listen to the radio and I would buy the music. But it wasn't like I was going to pull up to a show, because that was such a far thing for me. It's like, first of all, I ain't got the bread to be pulling up to no concert, you know, as a kid, you know. You know, I had a very interesting childhood, so that really wasn't part of, you know, anything that I was, you know, that was on my mind to do. But the first show, like real concert that I really went to myself, I think I had somebody with me. Those days are a little blurry back then, but it was a Lauryn Hill concert, when she did Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and I was like, this is crazy, you know. And the vibe and the energy was so I don't know how to put it. It was epic. It was legendary. It was magnetic. It was like I don't know. It was almost like seeing Michael Jordan. It was like it was weird. It's like everybody was in it, you know.
Locked in.
And when she came out on stage, I was like, what is this feeling, dude? Like, this is like amazing, you know. And I know I'm using like very basic words to explain, because I can't think of, you know, the right words to describe. And that's what made me feel like, wow, I think that's what I want to do, you know. And it took me till I was like 20, 21. It took me that long for it to resonate with me. Like, I think that's what I want to do. I know I like singing songs, but I could never really see myself on stage because I wasn't really thinking like that. But I like singing. I like, you know, people reacting to how I could sing. And, you know, that making me feel good, you know, as a creative person, because I like music a lot. And I grew up listening to Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Marvin Gaye, James Brown, Michael Jackson, George Clinton, Prince, all of them. You know, I grew up listening, but I never wanted to like be on stage like them. I like being able to like appreciate them, you know, and be inspired by them, and, you know, catching really cool vibes and finding really cool stuff and linking up with people who like music and talking about it. Like, that was enough for me. But it's like the universe had bigger plans for me. It's like, nah, bro.
Yeah. Nah, you're gonna be on stage.
Yeah,
you're gonna
we
be a performer.
I'm gonna show you the feeling that people are gonna get from when this happens for you. And I think that it's like, oh, it feels like this. And then the next concert that I went to was a D'Angelo concert when he did Voodoo. And I was like, yeah, I think I got the message now. I got the message. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So when you say you got the message when you went to the shows and stuff like that, but like before you went to those shows, you were already like doing music and singing and stuff, or you hadn't tapped into that yet?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I know that's weird, but and he can definitely vouch for this. A lot of people that try to get in the music business or music industry or whatever, it takes a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to start somewhere. You got to, you know, figure out what you want to do. You got to get people to care. You got to get your little crew. You got to fail, take L's. You got to learn from that, try again. You got to switch your name up, switch your team up. Like, it's a lot that goes on. You know what I'm saying? You got to develop your own sound. And then you realize that's not what I want to do. And then you got to switch it up. And you kind of got to make people forget about the old stuff. It's like, it's a lot that goes on. And that can take 3, 5, sometimes 10 years before people even know that you're a thing.
Right.
So you had a name before Musiq Soulchild?
No.
Okay. I was just wondering.
No, that's not what I was trying to say. No. But the point that I'm trying to make is that didn't happen that way for me.
So when you went to the concerts and stuff, you weren't already dipping and dabbling in music yet?
No. I was
you just saw them and was like, I want to do some stuff.
Well, I kind of was, because I started.
How old was you then? You was young, right?
This all happened within that same 20. I had already turned 21.
Okay.
I was already 21. Okay. I had already lived my life, been through my, you know, struggles and of life. You know, that's a long story, but, you know, I'd already been through a lot of stuff. You know, it got real bad one time. I don't even think I was 21 yet, and I had a nervous breakdown because I was so stressed. You know, and I didn't realize that I was stressed. You know, I wasn't living right. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't sleeping right. I wasn't drinking water. Like, people like, please hydrate. Like, hydrate.
The
simplicity of hydration. Like, hydrate, man. You know, and having a good diet don't mean you gotta be vegan or you gotta, you know, only eat vegetables. It just means you have to, like, you gotta feed your body. You know, your body runs off of nutrients. And if you don't have the proper nutrients, then that's where all of those weird things that come up in you happens. You get weird mood swings. You start thinking crazy. You start not having no energy. You start tripping because you have an imbalance. You know, you don't have enough, you don't have enough vitamins or enough minerals, and then your brain can't function properly. You know, so I'm not trying to tell people what to do. It's just that, you know, when you start tripping, maybe look at, you know, what you're putting into your body. You know what I'm saying? And people are adults, and you can do whatever you want, but do your best to be responsible. You know, so drink water. You gotta hydrate. Your body needs water. Like, y'all can turn up, do all of that. Cool, it's available, but you gotta offset it. You gotta balance it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be eating snacks all day. Like, go get yourself a meal. You know, eat a vegetable here and there every now and again. I know that's not what you asked, but I'm saying this because this is what happened to me. You know, when I was younger. Yeah. So I was dealing with life. Like, I couldn't even think about being
because I thought like they were saying like that. It used to be like this thing where you was like, you pursued your music career after you dropped out of high school. So where did that come from?
Wikipedia. Like, people get messing up my Wikipedia.
Yeah, like why would they lie like that?
So here's what happened, right?
Okay.
I left home because, you know, home life was a little interesting for me. Yeah. You know, without getting into a lot of stuff right now.
Okay.
I left home and I was about 17, I was between 17 and 18. I left home because I wanted to figure out what life was like on my own without living under somebody telling me what life was, you know. And I honestly, like, I could say it now, but what I didn't realize back then, or how I couldn't articulate it, back then was that I didn't have a good relationship, at home, with my parents.
Your parents.
Like
okay.
I didn't we had it was just weird.
Yeah,
Um,
I understand that definitely.
Yeah, I'm just
I
yeah,
can
you know what I'm
relate.
saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to express that, and the only thing that I knew how to do or to say was, I got to get out of this house because I can't be me here. I don't know what that is, but every time I look around, I feel like I got to live up to something that I don't know what that is, and I don't feel like I can really say what I need to say. I feel like, me expressing myself, I'm always wrong, blah, blah, blah. And so when I left, I was like, okay, so now what do I do? So
when you left, well, you just left.
I just left.
Where was you staying? You just staying
homies.
different
I was-
home, people
the
couch.
homies.
Yeah, I
No
know. I
job. You
feel
got
you.
a job at the time. No job.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I couldn't keep a job because my attention span was like,
Yeah, you ain't really
I had
gonna
no
do what
attention
nobody
span.
say do and all
I
that.
didn't know, and I didn't understand that. Like, I thought something was wrong with me. It's like, bro, like, you got a job, like, you need bread, cool, stay here. And I'll get there, and I'm like, man, it's for the birds, man. I can't do it. Yeah, but if you don't do this, so next thing you know, you gotta low key beg folks. You'll say, yo, I gotta look at your fridge real quick. Gotta get a slice of bread or something. You got $2. I can blah blah blah. So that didn't work because I wasn't interested. You know what I'm saying? And living a life always being up under somebody and depending on people. I ain't like that. So I would get a job just enough so I could stack a couple dollars so I could be like, man, fuck this, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I could live off of this until I get another job. And then I would rock with people who would look out, and I would just be super resourceful with what they were able to provide. And then, I just started getting blessed a lot of the times, where people would just be like, yo, stay with me. Like, you don't know me from a can of Adam. What do you mean? All right,
Wow, that's God
and I'm
looking after you.
Exactly. So I would lean on that a lot of the times, and I can't really tell you how I got through a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of it is blurry, but I would have to put it, I would have to call it that. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm wording it like this is because I didn't grow up, in a traditional religious kind of like background. So my perspective on God.
What was y'all?
So I started Muslim.
Okay.
But then it transitioned into a whole bunch of other stuff.
Wow. Okay.
And then when it got into a whole bunch of other stuff, I was like, yo, this is kind of canceling out everything. So I don't know what's what anymore. So my faith in the concept of God, at least according to how people know it as, was kind of distorted. So I was like, okay, well, if I can't lean on nothing, what can I lean on? Like, I can't lean on myself because I don't know everything. I don't know nothing. So I was just out here, just trusting the vibes, man.
So who the first, like, when you first get a beat or think of to make a beat or a song or write something?
So I was leading up to that. So
okay.
I'm out, and I would get a job, for maybe a week or so. Folks will hook me up with a job. And it's like little fast food stuff. Like, that's not that hard to get. And whenever I would be on my off days, I would go to, movie theaters because I really like going to the movies because it's like, it kind of gave me the thing where, I could kind of go into a whole nother world, you know what I'm saying, for a couple of hours and not think about my life, so that's why I really like the movies. And sometimes I'll go to the movie theater. There was an area in Philly called 69th Street. Trying to see what that's like. 69th Street probably would be like almost like the Buckhead area.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But early, but not super rich Buckhead. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Kind of like back in like the 90s Buckhead, like when Lenox Mall was not Lenox Mall now. Lenox was quiet Lenox.
Okay.
It was those kind of vibes. And I would go to the movie theater up there. Sometimes I'll pull up too early, my movie won't start, and it was a record store right next to it called Coconuts. So sometimes I would just chill there and play, record roulette, just like pick something, because I was just looking for new stuff. Because I already had everything that I was, that I knew about, all the artists that I like or whatever. So I would just go there and be like, okay, what else could I find? And sometimes I would just randomly pick stuff. Some stuff I would like, some stuff I won't, but that's how I came up on like really cool stuff, just by not listening just to the radio or just watching videos or just listening to what other people were listening to. And I came up on different stuff outside of R&B, outside of hip hop. I would get into others in pop music, rock music, alternative stuff, drum and bass, trip hop, like all types of stuff, and I was like, yo, there's a bigger music world out there. Punk rock. When I got into punk rock, I was like, whoa, what is this? This is amazing.
It is nice.
You know, and it goes, you know. So when I started doing that, it started really like broadening my perspective on music. But at the record store, there was two dudes that used to work there, a dude named Jay and a dude named Brian. So Jay and Brian, I really talk a lot with Jay. Brian, he was the singer, and Jay was a songwriter, and we would just talk about music. It's around the time where 112 was popping, Boyz II Men. They had just came out with "I Make Love to You" record. That was pretty big. We talk about Babyface and them and all of that, and talking to him helped me understand the concept of songwriting, because I was just thinking like the singers, the main artists or whatever, but he was a songwriter, and I was like, yeah, somebody do gotta write these songs, huh? And he's like, yeah, man, because he wasn't really a strong singer, but he had really cool songwriting ideas. So that's what made me start thinking more than just being in the front. That made me start thinking about, well, how is a song put together? And that's when I started really peeping game about different artists and the artists that I like and who wrote their songs and the production team that they came from and cultivating a sound and what all of this means and the fact that there's different genres and where it started. Your R&B is not just R&B. R&B came from someplace. R&B before R&B, it was the blues. Before it was the blues, it was, field music, and that kind of went to church and then that shot off into jazz and I was like, yo, this is just stuff that I'm just peeping. I didn't go to school for this. Yeah. It was just something that I was interested in. And everything just started to click and make sense.
Fascination.
So I started just keep going, going back to that record store. And, I was singing and they were like, yo, you really could sing. Like, you should do something with that, And they had a manager, or I guess they would call like a regional manager or whatever. So Brian, I think, was the manager of that store. But they had a manager that was managing multiple stores in that region. So sometimes he would come around or whatever, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna tell bro about you, and he's been trying to, look for some artists, because he was trying to be a manager for artists, and I think that you could be dope. I was like, cool, sure, whatever. So he pulled up, and I talked to him, and his name is J2. That's interesting. And he was like, yo, you're pretty good. I got a partner named Mike, you know what I'm saying? We've been looking for an artist, and, we're interested in working with you,
So this whole time you still ain't been in a studio. They just hearing you live.
Yep, because that's all I would do. I would just pull up and sing to people. Like if you was on your way, back home from work, I would just pull you off to the side. Like, excuse me, can I sing for you real quick? Because I was really insecure, like extremely insecure. Again, childhood issues, but I was really insecure, and the only way that I could like feel more confident in the fact that I could sing is that I needed a stranger. I needed somebody who don't know me, who don't owe me nothing, who I'm low-key getting on your nerves. You might want to punch me in the face because I'm stopping you from getting home. I wanted that authentic response. You know what I'm saying? And when I got enough of that, I was like, oh, well, these people ain't got no reason to lie to me. You ain't got no reason to shine my shoes. It's like, oh no, you're good. Like no.
So nobody in your family, like your mama, your daddy, do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, one of them's right there.
Okay.
That's my
Y'all
brother.
didn't ever know he could sing before now?
No, yeah, but again,
It was your confidence.
Yeah, it was my confidence, and it was the fact that I didn't really have that support. It was like, yeah,
you weren't supposed to be singing all this stuff anyway.
Yeah, I thought you was
You're not finna do nothing with it.
We ain't gonna take this serious.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah,
I would have thought you was
not
okay,
finna
that's
be
what
on-
I'm trying to.
Yeah,
Okay.
nah.
and singing down the hallway.
Yeah, most times your
making
mama
the
didn't
girls,
discover you
you know
can
what
sing.
I'm
They
saying?
kind of
Nah,
be like,
it
"Go,
never
let's
happened.
go. You
No.
can sing."
Never happened. Nope.
Talent show.
But you know what I'm saying? Most
Yeah,
times you find
yeah.
out your child
And
or
that's what
something
I'm
can
saying.
sing, you be
Yeah.
like, "Woo, we is
No,
so good.
it
We
was
good."
cute when I was
Let's
like
learn
when I
to
was
do.
like 7, maybe. Hey, sing the little song and do the little dance. I
Yeah,
was
but-
a huge Michael Jackson fan back then. I was one of those kids that the family, dude, the family come
Slide
on,
into
do
the
the little,
room with
you
your
know, what I'm saying? And I would do it. But when you get older, it ain't so cute no more. It's like, what you gonna do with the
Right.
rest of your life?
Where's
It's like,
the money at?
this. I want to do this.
Right.
Nah, why?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not finna like,
Because it ain't making no money.
you know what I'm saying? Or not even that it's not making any money.
Or
It
they
was
just
just
didn't believe in it.
yeah, it was like you can't. You're not about to be out there with these people on this stage being a star and a celebrity. That's not for you.
Oh, well,
You know,
I bet
that was the
crazy.
vibes. You know what I'm saying? Because there was no encouragement. There was no support. There was no no, let's try to get you in the studio. Let's try to get you a manager. Let's put some bread into this. Let's get you some music lessons. No, let me actually take you, because I'll drop out. But let me put you back in school. And actually, I'm not proud of it, but it's what happened.
It's what
You know what I'm saying? Let's get you those. Like that never happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I expected it or I thought that was supposed to happen. It just didn't.
Yeah.
So because it didn't,
Support system matters.
It
Yeah.
came later on, and you discovered it through being in the music place.
So you 21, 22.
So, Jay said, I got a partner named Mike. We trying to, manage, artists, whatever, and I'm gonna get back to you. What he got back to me with was, all right, so look, I got this situation down at the studio. It's a studio called A Touch of Jazz, ran by Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. They was in Philly. Excuse me.
Shout
I didn't even know that was a
Jeff,
thing. Shout out to Jeff. I just saw him recently. I did Tiny Desk with Adam Blackstone, and he pulled up. So I kind of brought that up, and I, let him know. I told him. I said, yo, I don't think I ever told you that I really appreciate the fact that you let me in the door and let me mess around in your studio. Like I ain't had no money. He was like, oh man, like look, you just gotta try stuff, let people do stuff,
Never
and you just or whatever he said. But and I made it a point to make that point to him because I don't think I ever said it to him. I said how much I appreciated it before in interviews and stuff, but I don't think I ever said it to him. So he was in my face. I was like, yo, and I'm so glad I thought about it. I was like, dude, I just want to let you know, like you didn't have to let me in. Like I appreciate you letting me in and let me, figure it out. And he was like, nah, man, it's all love. It's all good. So that was dope. So, but, that's where I met my writing partner, Carvin Hagens. Shouts out to Carvin Hagens. Half Crazy, Just Friends, Love, Don't Change,
Bangers.
Yeah, Teach Me,
Hits.
Who Knows,
Hits.
For the Night, like.
That show play a part.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we, all of that, and many, many more,
That's
So
a vibe you can rely on right there.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know if he's still writing or whatever, but yeah. I did an interview with him. He had a podcast. I did an interview with him a couple years ago. So he's still doing well as far as I know.
So do you think the songwriter gave you a little?
So
like a little
what
swag
that?
as far as
Yeah,
sound?
because I didn't really have, no, I ain't had no swag. I ain't had no gang. I had nothing. I didn't know. I had no self-awareness. I was
You
just.
consider yourself like green a little bit.
Yeah, I was neon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck green. I was neon. I was baby fresh.
Really?
Yeah, I ain't know nothing. I didn't
Even
know
though
anything.
you had hopped out the porch so quick and left the house.
But because I was sheltered my whole life,
it took a while to break it.
So now you feeling
I had to
you
jump
are,
out. Yeah,
you're
so
discovering self.
and I still don't know what that is, but I'm picking up the pieces as I go, and
right now today.
even to this day.
Wow.
Yeah, like my whole time, like people don't understand. I keep saying this. My whole timeline is my learning curve. I didn't have no squad. I actually went through a few squads. I went through a lot of.
Well, I mean,
Anyway,
and that came from business, so it wasn't organic squad like these guys that I grew up with.
Yeah, I didn't have that. I didn't have that. So when I met these guys,
probably didn't need it anyway.
Yeah. But you don't know that when you don't know nothing.
Yeah,
you think whoever coming at you with a little bit of time, a little bread, you think that's
cool.
love. You
Yeah.
think, and you understand like, no, it's business.
Mm-hmm.
That's the finesse.
They see something.
And they need to make you feel like blah, 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 so that you can open up and, yeah. So anyway, and again, I've healed. I've gotten past a lot of the shenanigans that I didn't think was cool, but a lot of it had to do with my ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like to play the victim. It's just circumstances, and I learn from them. Everybody ain't gonna always know, and sometimes you're gonna get got, and that's just the game.
So is that where victim and the villains came from?
Okay, I like
because I want to know about that. Now that you said it, you don't like me.
That's good. No, that was a good.
Man.
That was dope. Yeah. I'm gonna get to that real quick.
Okay.
So, and that's really cool that you did that because that's
where it came from.
Yeah, and people think some people think that I'm trying to no, it's basically me making the point to say, okay, I think I'm starting to understand it now. And this is from way back then all the way up until now. But let's take it back so we can bring it up to here. So I Started recording. You know, Carvin introduced me to his producer Ivan. Ivan Barry is from Jersey. He's really dope. Again, all of the songs that I mentioned, he did most of the production for that. And this whole time, I ain't been shopping no deals. I ain't been doing showcases. I ain't been performing for producers and managers and labels. I ain't been doing none of that. I just been going to the studio and recording. And every time I record a song, I'm like, oh, that's what I sound like. Oh, that's what I could do. Oh, okay, this is what you could do with it. Oh, that's what mixing is, and this is what it sounds when you balance vocals, and when you stack them, you can get this vibe. Oh, that's what an EQ is. That's what, all of this stuff. And I'm not knowing any of this, and all of this is kind of like putting me on game, and it's helping me understand all the music that I like, how it was made. I would sit and watch the producer make a beat. Like, this is what it takes to make a beat. Oh, wow. I would sit with Carvin and we would hash out ideas, and it's like, oh, this is how songs are written. It's not like somebody just go off somewhere and write it and say, here, sing. Like, no, especially, now for some people it works that way because some people are not interested in songwriting. But then when you got a person like me who want to be a part of everything, I started having a deeper appreciation, you know what I'm saying, for more than just the singer. Yeah. And to be honest, I didn't want to be a solo artist. I wanted to be in a group because I like collective efforts. I like all of that. But again, somebody was like, nah, you too bright, fam. You gotta go dolo, And I didn't, and again, I'm awkward. I didn't like being in the front. I didn't like all of that attention, and it's like, God will give you the thing that you say you don't want just to show you that that's what you deserve, So I was like, I don't want all of that. I want it. Yeah, but what you deserve is on the other side of what you say you don't want.
So growing up as a kid, were you in the church? Did y'all go to church?
I went to church for a little while.
It wasn't the soul church choirs and whatnot.
I was in a couple choirs, but it was like, honorary. I had homies that, had different churches, and I would just pull up and it was like, just get it. Oh, okay. And I'll just be over there with the tenors.
So you learned a little bit about singing, harmony, stacks.
I didn't learn it from school. I had to pick it up, on the job training, you know what I'm saying? I had to pick it up as I went. And I would sing with different groups and stuff, and we would find different notes and just having those different conversations. Because I hear all of the possibilities, but you can't, like, you only one person, you can't do all of those voices, but if you could sit and you could give everybody parts and you could hear the whole thing. And that's why I love recording so much. Like, if you listen to my songs, hella backgrounds. Because I just like that.
I experienced that for
different
myself.
arrangements.
Real drums.
I like that.
We got
songs with like
that's a whole nother conversation.
I sat and watched this man put like 20 harmonies
we got
on
some
a
stuff.
lead. Like,
we got some stuff.
Yeah.
But then after that, I had to learn, and that's what took me so long. Just sidebar, the process of me working on the songs, you know what I'm saying, when I would come up to the crib was just me trying to figure out, okay, how can I like streamline everything? Because I want to do a lot, but everybody don't get all of that all at once. So my beginning recording process was about finding out what I could do. How much can I throw in there? How much can I get away with? How much can I accomplish? But around that time, it was like, okay, how much can I get done by doing less? So that people can appreciate what's happening, because if you crowd them with a whole bunch of voices, it's like they don't know what to pay attention to, and it just sounds like so much. And when it came to mixing, I had to mix a lot of that stuff down so that at least the lead vocal could be in the forefront enough so a person can follow the song. But then I would get frustrated because I'm like, they're not getting all of these parts. It's like, bro, everybody can't hear that.
But the real ones can hear the real ears. So
and it's there, and it's there, and it's there, and it's there for them, and it's there for them.
Kanye be like, ooh.
But the consumer, the person that's gonna go out and buy it, the person that's gonna pull up to the show, like, they ain't got time to be dissecting songs, bro. They got life to deal with. They got kids.
But I will say that I've learned from consumers and the fans and the people, it's a feeling that you get.
Then that's what I started to do. I started saying, okay, if they can't hear it, at least I'm a mix it in a way where they could feel it. And I know that it works because too many times people come up to me like, bro, man, I don't know what it is about this song, man. And I'd be like, I know what it is, but it's too long to get into.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel it though, so that's all that matters.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
And
like them harmonies of a band. When you got 2-3 guitars, you be like, I can't even hear the difference, but it's them different notes.
But they complement each other and they fill in those gaps. And people just be like, it just give me that feel. Like when I didn't have people tell me like real bad how much they've been in a choke behind some songs. And I'm like,
trance.
And that to me says, cool, it did what it was supposed to do. Cool, I'm set with that.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be able to, and that harmony part on that one, there's one part of the hook when they might not can go to, some can and some do. You know, some of you flat out sing it to me, you know, but some people, they can't go that far, but they will let me know, like, dude, this song, I've been listening to this song for 2, 3, 5 years. It's just something about today. I just listened to that song, man. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But that's why I record the way that I record, because I want it to be a thing that 10, 15, 20 years from now, you still discovering stuff about it. Because it's so, anyway, back. So I started recording. Most of the songs that I recorded that was basically my demo became my first album. Because what I didn't know is that my managers at the time, they were actually doing all the, the politicking. I didn't know that, they wouldn't tell me, because I don't know, they probably wasn't sure whether it was going to be something or not, but they did have, connections where they were kind of like seeing, they would play for certain people, they would, shop it around, see how people felt about it, to see where, where they could possibly, get me a deal. Meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna eat today. I'm doing where I'm gonna sleep. And I started recording officially. I started recording because I started in like late '98, but I started officially recording at the top of '99. Me and Carvin started writing songs specifically for me. I did a song that got shopped to a group. I sung backgrounds on the song. But at the top of '99, that's when I started recording. But I left probably like around July.
Left what, Philly?
Left Philly to come down here.
Okay. In '99.
Yep.
Wow.
That's when so you gotta understand, I had a
where did that come
6-month
from?
span of time.
Up and move. It was somebody saying, "Yo, come
got
to the
deal.
city." Or
No.
or it was some people who you knew.
Well, my family moved down.
Okay.
So I got tired of, not knowing where I'm asleep, and and not knowing, like, just all of that, not knowing. And I knew that, my actual family was somewhere. Yeah, I left, and it was kind of weird, but it was still my family. So I had to like do something about, like, I had to go try to see about that in some way. Like, I didn't want to completely be in the wind. Because it gets weird when you just dolo. Like, it gets really weird. And
Freaknik still going on at this time? It's not. Were you
Yeah,
attend any of those?
Allegedly. But I knew that Philly got super cold, during the winter, it start like, in mid-fall. So I wanted to get ahead of it, and I was like, well, since I got folks in Atlanta, I would never experience the winter. I could just go down there and wait to, get hot again, and then come back up. Like, that was my plan, And also my plan was, after I get enough songs, I was going to, burn them on a CD and sell them myself. That's that hustle mentality that I got. Like, I ain't thinking about getting no deal. I'm like, no, I'm gonna push these myself, get all the money. That was my and then after I put that one out, go back to the studio, get some new record. That was back then. I know some people probably don't even know that life. It's just digital. Like, what do you mean printed on a CD? Who does that? Like, that was the life back then. So
I was doing that for sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that was
high school and college.
Yeah, that was the plan. That was the plan. Record enough songs, burn them on a CD, sell them myself. So understand, I started recording from like January, I forget the month, probably the January or February of '99, all the way up to about maybe like June, July, somewhere around there. The specifics are a little hazy, but it's around that block of time. In all of that time, I recorded, probably 80% of my first album, and maybe like 10% of my second album too, because some songs kind of carried over. because I didn't, and it makes sense to put it on this album. Like I got a song on my second album called "Stop Playing." I didn't want to put that on the first album because it was too much like Just Friends. I had a song that was written by a really dope songwriter, Eric Roberson, called "Previous Cats," and the production team that he worked with. I actually recorded that song. Well, I was about to record that song and put it on my first album, but I was like, nah, I like, because the other song was Merry Go Round. So I was like, nah, I like these two songs. I want to put this one on my first album. I want to put this one on the second album. He was like, second album? What are you talking about? Oh, you going to put it on your second album? You just know you're going to get a second album.
Right.
And now, again, this is like, that's how I say I was so neon. Like, I didn't know that there was a thing. Like, you might not get another shot, bro.
Yeah.
But I had already knew, like, no, I'm going to put this album out. People going to love it. It's going to be crazy. And then I'm going to put this next one out. You think you like this one? You're going to love this one. Like, that's how I was
chapter 2. You writing your chapter.
Yeah, I'm like, that's how I think. Like, I think, like, I don't move unless I got some kind of plan so that I can move more intentionally and I can know what I'm doing and I have a reason why. So that way I can explain to people, no, the reason why I did this is because it's supposed to blah, blah, blah. But I didn't understand everybody don't move like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just taking shots in the dark, hope the sun hit. Like, but I was confident, but the confidence came from the fact that people kept telling me that I was dope. It's not something that I was telling myself, so I wasn't delusional. Right. So I'm like, well, cool. If everybody is saying this, then I could do something with this. Like, this is valuable. I could work with this. This can go, So about around like December, like right before New Year's, a couple days before New Year's, managers called me. I'm out here. And they're like, yo, we got a deal on the table. I'm like, what does that mean? A deal, like a record deal. Oh, okay. What, okay, what come with that? Like, what is, like, like, I don't understand what this means. You gotta understand.
All the way green.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, So, well, we got to.
There's a lot to go into that. It's
so,
360, we're doing talking.
Yeah.
But he didn't even know those questions to ask.
We talking about 99, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We talking
about
old school.
Percentages,
yeah.
Splits.
Yeah, that,
how many
all of that.
albums,
Yeah, how much bread, how much,
yeah.
what's my advance, and, what's my,
what's going towards
recording budget, what's going towards radio. Like, I don't know any of this. I'm just like a record deal. Like, what is it? So what I'm like, what do I got to do? Like, what do you mean? And they was like, well, first of all, where you at? I'm like, I'm in Georgia. What are you talking about? Like, why? Nah, man, we need you back. Why are you down there? I'm like, dude, I have to tell you where I was going. Like, I go wherever the fuck I want to go. Like, why you on my phone, bro? Like, what do you want? Dude, I'm trying to tell you, man, like, this could be a good opportunity. I'm like, okay. Like, if I knew what they were saying to me, I would have reacted differently. Right. But I didn't understand what any of those words meant. He was like, yo, so we got to do, I said, oh, what, okay, so like a record label. Cool. What record label? What Def Jam? I was like, with Russell Simmons? He was like, dude, no. Russell Simmons don't run Def Jam no more. I'm like, I don't know, man. I saw him at Def Comedy Jam. Like, I thought that was his thing. Yeah. Him and the white boy. Like, that's their thing. Yeah. It was like, nah, man, it's different now. I'm like, okay. Now, mind you, there was a whole, part of that Def Jam thing was Def Soul, with, who was on there? You had, Drew Hill was on there. Who else? I think Kelly Price was on there. A couple of other people. And I think, that's kind of the thing that they was saying, Def Jam. First, I'm thinking, Def Jam is hip hop. I'm not a rapper, I mean, in my head, I'm a rapper, but I'm not, my music is not, I'm not rapping on my music. Yeah. So, like, how that's going to work, and it's like, they got Def Soul and they want you to be, one of the new artists on this, new label thing. And I'm like,
and this is 2003, 2004.
No, this is 2000. It's not even 2000
2000
yet.
So we didn't
it ain't even 2000 yet.
Fresh.
So they was like, okay, all right. I said, okay, cool. Well, then y'all gonna have to give me a Greyhound ticket, come back. I was like, Greyhound, just get on the plane. I was like, no, I ain't never been on the plane. I'm about to go on no plane. I got down here on the Greyhound. Pulled up in Magic City. Okay, put me on a Greyhound.
That's even cheaper. What they complaining about?
Right.
They wanted me to be there that night.
Greyhound was gonna take a minute.
Yeah,
from Atlanta to Philly.
Yeah. It take about depending on the routing. Depending on it can take anywhere between 16 to 20 hours. Ooh. Depending on the routing, because you got sometimes
you gotta stop and
you gotta stop and you gotta wait for the next bus. That could be like that layover, bro. Okay.
It ain't a bad. It ain't a good thing. It ain't a bad thing. Hell, I done rode the
I got
bus.
that. Yeah.
I done rode that bus.
It's real, man. And I was always dolo, so like I couldn't ask him, yo, can you give me a ride? Like, no.
So did you end up getting on the plane for the first time?
Yeah. I had to.
Was you scared?
Yeah.
Oh,
I had to. The first time I got on the plane, I had to fly to LA. I had to fly to LA because
This for the record deal.
yeah, I had to fly to LA because after I got the record deal in February, I'm fast forwarding. Came back to Philly, you know what I'm saying, spent the night in Philly, went to New York, went to Def Jam, sat, across from Kevin Lyles. Redman was there for whatever reason. Shouts out to Redman, huge fan. And it was so surreal, man. I'm like, what is happening right now? What is my life? You gotta understand something. Like, I'm not thinking any of this is about to happen. Like, my brother, he won't tell you. I was, anyway.
Oh, this is a surprise.
Fam,
It's like, what the
like,
fuck? It's a dream.
I'm coming
like
from, I'm coming from
Yeah.
basically nothing. Basically nothing, man.
You went to Philly, had to spend the night at Philly, then they say you got to go
Because
to
I
New York.
had no place to stay in Philly, so I stayed at my manager's house.
And then y'all left, you and the manager left, went to New York.
Went to New York, had the meeting.
You looking up in Redman
Yeah.
face. All these people face. You like, what's going on? Then you
And
got to go to LA.
Then, well, that happened maybe a couple months later because
Okay.
the song Just Friends, that was my first single,
Mm-hmm.
that got put on the Nutty Professor 2 soundtrack. They was doing a premiere for it out in LA. And they wanted all the artists and everybody that was involved with it, especially, and I think, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was
Song
just the
going crazy.
label just wanted me to be there. So they like, and this is
push
the
the song.
kid
Yeah.
that's with the song that's on the blah,
So this
blah,
your
blah.
first big event.
So I'm like, this is too much, bro.
This is
I don't-
it.
I don't know.
Turn up.
Nah, I
having
was the
fun,
opposite.
yeah.
I was the opposite.
Like,
I
man,
was
I
like,
gotta go to this
You know
shit.
me, I
Yeah.
was like pictures.
I was like, because I was like, my thing was like, how long is it going to take for somebody to realize that I don't belong here?
But you there because you.
But I'm just saying,
that's
I'm
what
saying,
you
how-
feeling.
yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like I don't belong. I don't know these people. I don't. I don't live this life. I'm perpetrating the fraud right now. I don't come from this. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
feel like you ain't earned
dude,
that.
a month
slot.
ago, I was
Down to the
Bro.
ground.
I was below the rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? The down bad. I was under bad. I was. It was crazy. I had
Said,
to.
woof.
Man,
You
I
know
had
that's
to.
bad.
I was. I was paying this janky realtor $50 a week for this room that he got me under this house, and no plumbing, no nothing. But it was my space. But it was my space. I'll pull up to you. Hey, like, I use your shower real quick, but I don't care.
Mhm.
But it was
But you
my
can go back
space.
to that space and chill,
Dude,
and don't
and then
have
have
nobody in
my-
your face. Mm-hmm.
Bro wanted to live with me. I was like, fam, there's no room.
This is
here.
my space.
You could be here if there's no room here. It's barely room for me. So I'm going from that to, now I can afford my own apartment.
So when you went to LA, did they fly you out? They had you
Mhm.
all at the hotels,
Mhm.
like all black cars picking you
It was
up.
new. All this was
Did you
new.
have security and everything?
No, yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Ain't nobody,
So
when you
like, calm down.
So when you got
Calm
that,
down.
was it something about you that was like, okay, I'm not losing this position?
No, I didn't have that.
Mm.
Again, I'm just waiting for this to run out. It's like, this can't be real.
Just dreaming.
So
Yeah.
you doing shows? You
Oh, that didn't happen yet.
no shows yet.
No.
just went to the
No.
Nutty Professor premiere.
You gotta understand, that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, I wasn't out there trying to get noticed. Now, again, let me do the timeline. I started recording in about January, February of 99.
Mm-hmm.
I got my record deal in February of 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So
that
a
ain't
year
no
later.
time to work nothing,
Mhm.
So that's nothing but a blessing, man. So, but at the time, I'm not processing
Not
it that way
processing
because
it.
this is all a new ride. I'm like,
Right.
what is happening?
Mhm.
They just believe in you, believe in your music,
Yeah.
and want you. Let's do
the
this
manager
deal.
and the label.
Yeah.
We know what we can do with
They
you.
done put him on
You
Nutty
don't.
Professor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Shit.
Like,
Come on, man.
like
You
first.
still making money out
Yeah,
there, ain't
exactly.
it?
Yeah, we're not talking about that, but okay.
You know, I be trying to get to the money.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not understanding the value of
Mhm.
any of this.
Who was your first celebrity friend? Who kind of made you feel like I do belong here? This is my friend. They a celebrity. Like they a celebrity, and they cling to me.
I think it was India Ari.
Well, I love her.
I met
was gonna
her.
say that,
I
bro.
met her when I
You
was.
was gonna say that?
I
When
was gonna ask
I
him
was
about
mixing my first
India.
album. I was mixing my first album at Electric Ladyland Studio, and she was mixing her album as well at Electric Ladyland in New York. And we just clicked. Yeah, I was like,
I'm not the average girl in the video.
yeah.
And you talking about just friends.
Yeah.
And these eclectic songs for
And we
women.
talked
like,
all night.
we need more of you.
We talked all night, and I was like, now I ain't got no game. I'm hella awkward with the girls. You know, that's why Just Friends was the way that it was. It's like, look, hey, I'm not trying, hey,
Yeah.
you know.
He said,
Possibly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I just felt like, you know, that moment, to answer your question, nobody has ever asked me that question. I never had to think
well,
about
I'm
that.
dying, Peach.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
this
Yeah,
beauty in the
exactly.
beats.
Yeah.
I got more for you with
I
that.
bet you do, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, that was the first time I was like, maybe I do belong here.
Okay, because she
Because-
made you feel that way.
Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
it's like we're like the same, you know, in this thing, because I didn't really, again, I didn't feel like I belonged.
Even while you mixing the first album.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I belonged. I didn't.
Shout out
Because
to India
yeah,
Ari.
shouts out to
Shout
India.
out
Ari.
to
Shout out to Carlos Brody too, man. He from Memphis, produced that song.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
Average chick.
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Shout out.
So, and from there, I was like, okay, maybe I might want to give this like an honest shot, because I really didn't believe it, you know.
Mhm.
So I started taking it seriously, and you know, that's when I started doing shows, and I learned what it was like to sing on stage. Now I didn't know how to sing on stage. I was admitted, and I was admitted. I had to start performing the song. I had to start performing these. I started doing showcases. People needed to see me, because again, I ain't been shopping around. Nobody knew who I was. Nobody ain't seen me. Not because folk trying to hide me. Like, I ain't never been nowhere. So, but my survival instincts were so tough that people thought that I've been doing this for years, because I know how to respond in
So when
certain
you first
situations.
had to when you first had to perform, were you weren't confident
No.
at all?
No.
You hadn't got to that
So
point.
what was artist development like back
No,
then?
there was no artist development. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
you just had to
man.
basically learn on your own.
I was in the deep end.
So they didn't
Day
have y'all
one.
going through rehearsals or nothing before your
Rehearsals ish, so that people could know what's happening, but not in a developmental way.
Yeah, somebody showing you how to say,
Nah,
what to
and plus
show? Positioning on the stage.
and to be honest,
Mhm.
admittedly, I was hard headed and I wasn't listening to nobody.
really.
No, because I was like, "What you gonna tell me? How you gonna tell me how to be me?"
Yeah, well, that's a good thing.
You know, it wasn't out of cockiness. It's
Mhm.
like I don't, you know, my trust issues were
I kinda
crazy.
feel like
I didn't want
that.
to listen to nobody, because up until then, I didn't have so many people in the name of looking out and trying to help and having my back, whatever.
Mhm.
It was fugazi, so I ain't know how to trust nobody. I ain't know how to listen to nobody. You know, and they and you know, they probably would have, you know, they probably was giving off, you know, pretty good advice, but because of what I've been through, that I didn't understand that I needed to heal from a lot of stuff. You know, I didn't understand that I was operating out of, you know, trauma. I didn't understand that these were trigger responses, you know, but I'm thinking that it's me, and I'm thinking, you know, and I'm sure a lot of people was like, this nigga ain't gonna get nowhere. I mean, he don't even know how to listen. You know, and you're right. I didn't have a bad attitude. You just couldn't tell me anything. You couldn't
But
be like,
I
hey,
don't
bro,
understand.
so if you want to do this, then you should do this. I'll be like, okay.
Well, who could tell you something? Because
This nigga-
you was just like getting here. You didn't even feel like you should be here. And then you went from not feeling like you should be here to thinking you know everything.
No, it's not that I don't know everything.
Oh, okay.
And I know it's coming across
Don't give
like
me
that.
too much.
No. It's not. It's
You
not that.
just made- I'm just
No.
saying.
It's not that. It's. Yes, I didn't feel like I belonged.
Mhm.
And two, how can you tell me how to do something that I don't even know what's happening?
Mhm.
You don't even know what I am.
Mhm.
You don't know who I am. But I'm not thinking it doesn't matter that they don't know you.
They know.
They know how it works.
Yeah, they know the
Yeah,
business.
they know the game.
They know how
they
to put
done
a
this
product
before you
and move
and gonna
product.
do it after you.
I'm not knowing that. So it's not that you couldn't tell me anything, as in you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell me anything because I don't know what that means. and I don't know what you want. So why are you talking to me right now? Why are you sending me up the street?
So they were trying to help you do performances.
Yeah, but I was like, nah, I'll figure it out myself. I got this. Don't
I
worry.
don't think nothing wrong with that, but a lot of labels don't
So
like
what
that.
came first? The single? Obviously, the single came out.
Mhm.
You finally started doing shows.
Mhm.
Where was your first show?
You probably don't even remember that shit.
2000, bro.
Hey,
It's
you know,
2023.
the first show
It's
you might
23
I
years
remember.
feel
ago.
like I would remember mine. I feel like I remember. Do I remember mine? Yeah, I think I do remember mine. I think I do.
Where was it?
In Miami at Take One, the Hood Strip Club.
Okay.
Yep, they had booked me to come
That's
perform.
pretty
I was like,
significant.
damn, I got
So-
booked.
I don't know if you
I
can
had
forget
just
that.
started rapping.
Yeah. No, me. The reason why is because everything was such a blur to me. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
really know a lot of stuff.
What you remember about the crowd participation, like your first show or like your first couple shows doing Just Friends?
From what I can remember, it was. I think it was just a sense of pride because it was in Philly, and the fact that
Back at home.
and now people knew me in Philly.
Yeah.
I've been going to open mic clubs and stuff. So
Mm.
so let me retract the fact that I never performed or whatever. I've performed before, but it was in local, open mics or whatever. It wasn't no big production thing.
Practice stuff.
Yeah.
That's it, basically, like I had a homegirl that, worked at a restaurant. She would get tips every day. And I get paid when I was working, I forgot where I was working, probably some fast food joint I was working at. And I got paid every 2 weeks. So during the pay periods, she would get tips every day. And at the end of the day, because she ain't had no place to stay, and I had no place to stay, because the place she stayed, I was staying with her. She kind of got kicked out, beef with the person that she was staying with. So she was like, fuck it, I was going to move on. But she still had a job. And, we kind of like was in the same, we was basically doing the same thing in a different way. So I was like, let's just link up and join forces and look out for each other, and she would get tips every day. So we would go to like one of the day rooms that they had around town, and we would get a night room. Well, we get a night. It was just basically a room that we would get for the night where we both could stay. I would leave. We would go check in, and then I would immediately after we check in, like, we good? You good? You about to get some sleep? Okay, cool. And then I would just go to the local, whatever, just pull up to a open mic somewhere. Jill Scott had hers called Words and Sounds. There was another one at this spot called Wilhelmina's. There was a night that Jeff Bradshaw, a trombone player, and Jafar Burton played trumpet. They had a thing called Fire and Ice. Poets would get up and do their stuff, and then sometimes they would let artists go up. The Roots had theirs at the fire spot called Black Lily. Where they would have all the ladies come up and do their thing, female musicians, female rappers, female singers, and sometimes they would, let dudes up sometimes. And there was a couple of other little spots here and there that I would pull up to. And that was my way of kind of like learning and honing my craft,
And this before the deal.
Yeah, this is before the
Okay,
deal.
yeah.
And all of this, my manager at the time, now mind you, this whole time, they're listening to the songs, and I can only assume that they was talking to people about it. They was saying, "Yo, pull up."
Word was
he
getting
gonna
around.
He gonna
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah.
You
Hear
gonna
that
see him
voice,
there.
man, when he
Blah,
performed, like, man,
now
this guy's special.
I'm not knowing any of this though,
Popping
because
out.
I'm in my own mind, all like awkward and weird and insecure, and trying to give myself confidence to make myself feel like I'm doing something in life.
But there never was that time when you did any of those spoken words or speakeasies or whatever, and the crowd just went crazy. Or just was like,
Yeah.
All the time.
Sometimes it
That's
was.
why he don't remember his first show, because he been turning it out. I remember mine because I'm like, well, I barely get any. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I
But
definitely
he been doing.
I mean,
his thing.
sometimes it was dry, but sometimes it was good.
You made a name for yourself.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: the manager that you was doing all this with, you still fool with him?
Nah, we went separate. We went our separate ways.
Okay, just wondering.
We re-linked up, and it's all love. But no, we went our separate ways.
It's just wondering because y'all it's so much history there. So I'm just I want to do you still fool with him or
No.
y'all
We
got a relationship?
we separated. We separated a long time ago. Maybe like when I officially moved down here in 08. So it had to have been maybe 04, somewhere
Just
around there.
Want to move in a different direction. You got signed. And
Well, yeah, and I had to get out of Philly because Philly was starting to get small.
Oh, people was
Yeah,
knowing you and
yeah.
begging and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, it started to get
Mhm.
really
I
interesting.
know.
You got that deal.
Yeah,
They up there.
Hey,
I been
cuz,
know him.
Hey, man, that my
Yeah.
cousin.
Yeah,
Yeah, that my cousin. That
Yeah.
my folks.
know you. I'm
and
a
I,
loner.
bro, I remember being dolo for years.
That's what I said. I don't know you. I'm
You
a
know what I'm
loner.
saying? So like, I don't know about that.
You lying.
So
You know what I'm
what
saying?
was it like? Like you go from having nothing to having something, and now everybody wants something from you.
I didn't mind giving, but it started getting weird because it started to be a thing. Like, if it wasn't for me, like, word.
Oh, they trying to
Okay.
muscle you a little bit. Like,
Nah, I don't respond well to that. So, nah,
Well, they try to make you feel guilty.
nah, I don't.
They just throwing it out there. Then.
Okay.
yeah, I'm
That's
just
really what
use
they was
my
doing.
friendship. Like, oh, we cool. So
Mhm.
You know,
hold something.
I was the
Now, but the ones that was really solid was like, nah, you good, go.
yeah.
And I'm
we
like,
wanted
nah,
to
you
see
said
this
no,
the whole time
go.
anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
I
going.
love
Go,
it.
man.
Yeah.
I was like, word. The
Mhm.
girl I was telling, speaking of which, her name is Ayana.
Ayana,
The
shout
girl-
out Ayana. Hey girl.
I'll pull up to a crib, you know what I'm saying, pull up to a job, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, we'll get, she spent her little tips to get us a room that night, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She pulled up on me at a show in San Francisco. I haven't seen her, I think it was like 2002, maybe. Just out of I haven't seen her since I got the deal. Because I was on a rocket ship, so
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I didn't understand, like, you can't bring everybody with you.
Mm-hmm.
You either go or you're gonna miss your blessing. So what you want to do?
And
You want to wait on everybody else, or you want
to
to catch a ride, And that's why I really appreciate, when the folks that really had my back was like, bro, just go, go.
Yeah,
We're good, just go. I was like, okay, cool. So I haven't seen her since, I got the deal, and I started moving around or whatever, and I got my first show. I think it was my first show in San Francisco. It was in Oakland, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a really cool spot, really cool. I think was it the Fillmore? It was one of those legendary spots. I did a show. It was a nice show, and I did a meet and greet. This girl pulled up. I was like, "Hey, yo, what's up?" And then she was like, "Hey, I just wanted to come through." And I was like, "Yo, why didn't you tell me that you was?" It's like, "Nah, it's all good. Like, I was gonna pay anyway. That's fine." I was like, "I just wanted to let you know that I see you and I'm proud of you." And I was like, "Yo, so what you need?" Like, "Nah, I'm good. You just keep going." And I was like, "Dude, no, you can't tell me that."
Yeah.
Yo, we was on concrete together. What do you mean?
Yeah, like
I've been
what's
looking
up?
for. I've been
Yeah.
waiting to do
wondering
something.
where you
It's
was
one of
at
my day
anyway.
ones,
I've been
man.
waiting
What's
to do
up?
something for you, bro. And she was like, "Nah, don't worry about me." I was like,
We going out to eat. It's all.
"What do I do?" And she was like, "Nah." And she disappeared.
Didn't see her no more.
I ain't see her no more.
She done married her a rich man or something.
Probably.
She wasn't thinking about it, child. She was like, I just want you to know, keep going.
You know what I'm saying? So that really threw me
Genuine.
off. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, and I tell you, when I had nothing,
Yeah, I was,
that girl was there.
wow.
Like, I remember her. Anyway.
It
And it was a few other people, you know what I'm saying, that I think about from time to time. I try to bring, a couple people with me, but it's just things happen and it just don't work. It just don't work, man. And it is what it is.
Beat yourself down if it does.
I used to, but then I had to learn, like, dude, that ain't up to you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got their time, everybody got their moment, everybody got their journey they walk, and they got to figure it out for themselves. You can't insert yourself in the position of being responsible for somebody come up. It ain't up to you.
Right.
That ain't none of your business, bro. You know what I'm saying? Do what you can, but when it's time to take your exit, man, or you're going to somewhere you won't be.
What you think is the craziest moment you had on the road?
Oh, there's a lot of those.
But the craziest, what tops? What's like the top? Like, what the fuck is this shit? This shit crazy. Stalker.
All of that, yo.
Girls
Really?
popping up in
Yeah.
the room. And you ever had a girl already in a room that you?
No, I ain't that crazy.
Yeah.
Well, see, I move a certain way where, that stuff like that, it's so hard for something like that to happen.
Because you're real private. Like, just over the years.
I'm private, but I don't do nothing.
You don't do nothing to be private about.
I don't
It's
do
like,
nothing.
it's
I
what it
literally
is.
like you see, I pull up here, I just do it, and then from here I got a session to go to.
Yeah.
Like I don't be up to nothing. It's just that there's nothing to broadcast. It's just my life. It's my dad.
But some
But
stalkers, you can't stop what they got.
they're gonna
Them socks
do what
coming.
they're gonna do, man. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. I have had people come to my hotel rooms, you know what I'm saying? But now the thing is, I'm never by myself. I'm always with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Not only, you know, so that, you know, people could like look out for me to see something coming that I can't see coming. But also because if anybody wanna say whatever, it's like, no, somebody else is there.
Yes, you have to.
I'm not gonna
'cause
say
people be
nothing.
playing.
Go talk to them.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So I just try to stay out of traffic. You know, not because and plus I'm still not really cool with being around people. You know, I still have
All these
stuff that
years.
I'm healing from, you know, when it
Got
comes to
you.
my relationship with people, you know.
Gotcha.
And I don't want me being triggered to have a negative effect on somebody because I'm uncomfortable and I don't know how to
Nah,
express
facts.
that. You know,
Yeah.
so I try to stay, you know, I try to keep whatever activities that I'm up to, I try to keep it to a minimum because stuff be happening, you know, that I don't always understand, you know, emotionally. And I'd be like, I'm not comfortable here. Like, I don't want to be here no more, especially when I'm working.
But you
Yeah.
know, you like a staple in like culture. I
Thank
feel
you.
like. So when you go out, like you got kids.
Mhm.
So when you go out with your kids and stuff, people come up to you trying to like say,
Sometimes.
do you it make you feel away or you be
That don't really
don't
bother.
bother you
It's
too
only
much?
it's only when they're not. It's only when they're being inconsiderate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm actively engaging with my kid
Yeah.
and you're demanding my attention, it's
Right.
like, bro,
What's wrong?
I'm
with you?
busy.
Right.
fam.
Nah,
Mhm.
nah.
Thank you.
Just real quick.
No.
man, just real quick. Let me get
Now
the
my
picture.
I
kids.
understand. Now, if you don't mind waiting, let me focus on what I'm doing, and I will get to you.
Yeah.
Like I can't help you, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, and I do my best to be understanding,
Me
you
too.
know,
I
as
love my
possible. But when I'm locked in with my kids, man, like I'm sorry, this guy
Yeah,
is not a thing
yeah,
because
nah,
this
some
guy
shit.
is not a thing to them.
Mhm.
You know, so I gotta be the person
'Cause
that
they
I
don't
am
care
to
about
them.
that.
Nah, it's not even they don't care about it. It's not even a thing. That's
Yeah, they don't. They
you
don't know.
and
They
I,
don't comprehend
and
it.
I don't come at them with that like
Yeah.
you know your daddy or blah 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 like you know so I don't get into that
Mhm.
and I enjoy being in that experience, you know, of having a genuine interaction. It's very rare that I have a genuine interaction. I count on one hand how many genuine interactions that I have on a daily basis. And it's not to take anything away from because it can only be so genuine when people know you for a certain thing. So I understand that that's what that is, and I operate within that according to that. You know what I'm saying? I used to kind of get it
So
misconstrued.
your kids don't know you famous.
Mm.
They don't. How old are they?
Well, my son is 14. He's special needs, so he don't care about nothing.
Okay, got you.
You know, like he only cares about his day to day, and
Mhm.
I love him as he is.
Yes,
You
of
know
course,
what I'm saying?
of course.
So whatever gets him through the day, that's what gets him
That's
through the
what
day.
gets- yeah.
And he knows he knows I work. You know, he's seen me perform, and
Yeah, I got it. I got you.
you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
And his mom's performed too, and she's an artist, and he knows. It's not that he
Yeah.
doesn't know.
But
It's
yeah,
not
it ain't
a
a thing to him. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, he just love y'all because y'all his mom and dad.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, and I love it that way.
I know.
I
Ain't
love
that
it
so
that way.
genuine?
Genuine,
you know what I'm
Yeah, it make
saying?
you be about to cry. Be about to
You
cry.
know?
My kids so
So how did you meet the mother of your children? Like when you on the road, you know, you
So I
dating
met
another artist.
So I met my son's mother in the studio actually. You know, because you know she's a singer too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you know one thing led to another, and you know things are cool. I wasn't really looking to be in a relationship. I let that be known. You know, but the vibes were so cool, and you know everything was just going so well. You know, in a small amount of time. But you know, we later learned like, you know, you need more to go off of than just that. You know, and we kind of like suffered the consequences of, you know, not allowing a strong enough foundation to be established. You know, now we still cool. You know, I still love her. I still got her back. You know, and we co-parent the best way that we know how, given our respective lives, you know, circumstances. You know, I shout her out all the time. You know, I appreciate her for, you know, her ability to manage, you know, parenting our son as much as she does, because, you know, I'm not always there because I'm always working, you know, but I'm always working so that I can be able to provide, you know, as much as possible, even though, you know, we're not in a relationship we still, we respect each other. We deal with each other. We honor each other's position, and I'm not at her neck about nothing. I don't worry about her. Especially when it comes to my son, I don't worry about her at all.
Applause to that.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Applause
We
to
just
that.
No, she got that.
Yeah.
covered.
Rare
Yeah,
is
we
peace.
just we may
in that
have
respect.
differences in opinions as far
Mhm.
personally and romantically, but even when we interact with each other, there's no beef.
But when it come to that baby,
Oh no, it's all love. It's all love.
it's
know.
one accord.
Yeah. I also have a daughter. She's out in LA. That situation is a little more complicated.
Okay.
But my relationship with my daughter is awesome though. Yeah.
Yes,
Like she knows
please.
me. She don't know this guy. She knows.
But she don't know you famous.
Yeah, she don't know.
Really? How old is she?
She's 5 now.
Oh, my baby 5.
Yeah.
But it's like my baby.
I mean,
know-
she'll-
my baby knows something up, but it's like she don't-
she's the type that will figure it out.
she's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
figure.
yeah,
She
yeah.
knows.
And I'm
And
just
then
waiting
it
on
come from
it.
the
Playing
friends.
too.
Like,
I'm just
you'd be
waiting on
surprised
it.
It come from their
I'm
other
just
friends,
waiting on it.
8,
I'm just waiting on
9.
it. Yeah.
Man, you know your
Yeah.
daddy does
I'm not gonna,
something.
you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be
an.
and people have come up to me,
Why she
you
was
know,
with you?
and it was kind of like one of those, that was interesting,
Mhm.
And sometimes she'd be like, dude, can we like go? And I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
She ain't seen like your videos playing on YouTube. or
Well,
nothing.
I never. Her mama made, but I never played.
Her mama
anything.
probably ain't yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I never played anything for her. I don't. She don't.
And 5,
never
there's
came
too
up.
much else going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd
All
rather
the
her
nice
get
thing
hints,
you.
but
Yeah, no,
They and Barbie dolls.
No, yeah.
Toys,
Babies.
cartoons,
Yeah.
fun,
Yeah,
food.
go playground, jump plays, and all that. You know what I'm saying? We just,
Mhm.
I just keep it fun.
I feel like maybe if you was there, she'll be a little bit more
Probably.
nosy and into it. Because
Probably.
Blessed is nosy.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
dad would take me to the symphony with him, to the orchestra.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I
I'd
ain't got
be
no way
bored.
around it.
yeah,
Like I'd be in here like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'd be like, man,
yeah.
I wanna
It
go
don't mean nothing to me.
play.
Such a me,
Yeah.
such a me, such a
Means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, same thing when the kids be at the backstage of the
Means yeah.
the rap show.
It means
whatever. And you
absolutely
just like,
nothing. It means
I don't know
absolutely
these
They'd
So-
rather be looking
so-
at Mickey Mouse or Disney World.
So I'm not going to
push it on.
put her in a position where she doesn't even understand what's going on.
Mhm.
No matter how epic and how much of a movie it is. She's like, dude, can we do what I want to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I take her to the aquarium. I take her to the
Yes.
zoo.
Yeah.
I take
That's
her.
what they
I
love.
take her. We go to the
Time.
movies sometime. We go pick up some toys. Or we just
Mhm.
kick it. I just try to like be in her world, and have her, get to know me.
Yeah.
Because it's as sporadic as it is because of the circumstance. But
Well, I
you
just say as a woman and having a good daddy, it just means so much. You know?
it means a lot that you think that I'm a good dad.
Yeah, because for you to take your time out, and y'all in different states, and make sure she goes to movies with you, and y'all have y'all daddy daughter time. That's gonna resonate to her later on. Like that means a lot. That meant a lot to me growing up with my dad. Even though my dad was gone for a little while, when he got where he needed to be, I was with him every day.
Right,
and
right.
that's still in my head. A lot
Nice.
of stuff I learned from my daddy
Nice.
and my mama too.
Mhm.
But me and my dad, that relationship with your
Yeah.
daddy, and being a girl,
Mm-hmm.
is nothing like it.
I do my
It's
best, man.
nothing
'Cause
like
it's like it's really interesting how to like navigate through that.
Mm-hmm.
Being a public figure, and then being a public figure that you're not in the same household, with your child. So trying to figure that out has been a lot. And there's a lot that comes with that. That I'm doing my best to work through. But back to, so first album, then that, fast forward, second album, third album, all of that. Then I moved, from Def Jam to Atlantic, and then that's, other songs and other projects or whatever. But all of this time, I'm not making the music that I want to make.
Really?
Really.
But the first album was.
The first album, by default, it was music that I wanted to make, but it was music that I wanted to make because that's what I wanted to do at the time, because I didn't know what else to do.
Right, but once you got signed, you like, let's move it up.
And they was like, nah, we like this. Do this again.
Right.
Really?
'Cause it worked.
It worked.
But
And
did you know that you was going
No.
to help
I
mold
don't even know what
this,
the end of that question
this
is,
genre?
but I promise you the answer is no.
Neo soul.
Nope.
Like,
Because I never considered myself neo soul.
mm,
That was not what I was going for.
right.
But because that's what was popping at the time. And a lot of the artists that was coming out of Philly were, you know, kind of being considered that. I just went along with it because it's hard to argue down somebody who believe that they know something that is not what it is. You know, for instance, Erykah Badu is neo soul. You know, intentionally. You know, that was orchestrated by Keto Massenberg from Motown. That was his thing. You know, this is the queen of neo soul. This is what neo soul looks and sounds like. You know, that's what that is. And there are people who pattern their offerings off of that, you know, and then you've seen them, you know, they have that same or similar, you know, aesthetic, you know. I mean, just you can run it down, the head wraps and the all, yeah, and that's what that is, you know.
The name alone, just soul child.
Well,
Puts you in the mindset of the child of soul. Like,
but it's that simple though. I grew up listening to soul music.
yeah.
You are just
So I'm a child of soul music. So
Yeah.
I just child of soul. Put the child at the end of soul. You put it together, you get soul child. You know, that's all that was. But but people knew me as music.
So who came up with that name?
I just call myself. I kind of adopted it from people calling me the music boy. Always walking around beatboxing and singing and stuff. People knew me, but didn't know me. They knew me around Philly because I was just the dude always in some music shit. Like I was always, whenever you seen me, I was doing something musical.
Okay.
Either I was singing
That's
with the creative and performing arts
Beatbox.
kids, or I was in somebody's church in the choir somewhere, or I was beatboxing in the cypher of MCs, or I was hanging out at the jazz clubs. It was like anybody that ever seen me, I was somewhere close to music.
So you just name yourself.
I was known as the music boy. And so when people saw, hey, ain't you the music boy? Like, yeah, what's your name? I was like,
music.
one day out of nowhere, I was like, yeah, music. You call me music.
You is lying.
That ass. And somebody was like, all right, music. So blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I'm like, this nigga gonna call me music just like that.
And there you go.
I think I like that. And I did it
Discovery.
again.
It sounds.
And then
All
I did it
right.
again. And people just went with it. And I was like, yeah, my name music from now on.
Yeah.
And this
You know what I'm saying? So, but when it came time to sign a record deal, I had to change the C to a Q because music is a common word. You know,
Right.
it's like,
And where the soul child come from?
well, Soul Child was because that's what I wanted to call myself
What that name
as an artist. That's what I wanted my stage name to be.
Okay.
But my manager was like, "But no, bro, we got you a deal as music. Why would you come out with a different name? Don't make no sense." I was like, first of all, I didn't know that you were shopping the deal,
Even
guy.
doing anything type of deal. I
What are you
don't know
talking
what's
about?
going
Nobody
on.
discussed this with me. I
I'm
wouldn't told you.
Yeah.
That's my last
You know what I'm
name.
saying? You know what I'm saying? So and that's exactly what I said. I said, well, then I'll just use both. And they was like, use both? How? I was like, dude, like, just pass the name.
First
Like
and
music,
last
like
name.
Busta Rhymes, Musiq Soulchild. Like, and they was
And
like,
there it go.
all right, I guess, man. And
And it works.
It's
Yeah.
stuck. That's crazy.
It's stuck.
So the villains
So
and heroes.
fast forward
No,
to
it's
Victor.
the
Victims
victims
and
and the
villains.
villains.
He's not wrong, but you know, same.
But it's kind of the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah. So basically, you know, conceptually, because again, this album, 'cause I was talking to you earlier off camera. This album kind of like came out of nowhere. So first of all, I gotta send a big shout out to Hit Boy, man.
Big shout out to
yeah,
Hit Boy.
you
man.
I
did
gotta
the whole
send a
album.
shout out to Hit
Crazy.
Boy,
He
man.
going crazy too.
What's
man.
up, here, boy?
I
I,
send,
you know,
send a shout out to
Nas,
Hit
one of
Boy.
my favorite rappers to see what he
Yeah,
did with
man.
Nas and see what he did with you.
Yeah.
see what you
We
can do
fucking
with
with
me.
you.
That's
Hit
one.
Boy.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, get it in there. Get it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shouts out to Hit Boy. Like, that's the homie, man.
Yeah, I
That's the
seen his
homie.
name on a lot of my
And-
favorite records.
But no, but he's such a. I just get inspired by being around him. You know, just watching him, you know, make beats, just listening to the beats that he plays for me, just like, and then listening to his project, yo. That's a cold dude, man. He's not just a beat maker. You know, that dude is a visionary. Like, dude, that dude is already goated, and folks don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? So, shouts out to he just did a project with his dad.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, Pop's going crazy. He just got out, fresh out, going crazy,
Dude.
living his dream. It ain't
Pops
too late.
is a vibe,
It's never
too.
too
Yeah.
late to fulfill
Hey,
your dream.
yo.
man.
Never.
Never.
Big facts.
Never.
Big
Long as you
facts.
still here, you still up, man. Let's go.
Nah.
So,
Yeah.
so shouts out to Hit Boy. I had to make that point. You know what I'm saying? Because
The album is crazy.
it wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? And shouts out to my manager, Norm.
Big
for-
Norm.
Yeah, Big
Not the
Norm
little
making
one, you hear
it.
me?
Yeah,
Okay,
Big Norm.
Big Norm.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was the one, because he saw me tripping off the KD project, the King's Disease projects. And he was like, I'm gonna see if I can get you in there with him, man. Cause like you always talking about this, cause that's the point I was trying to make about the neo soul thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've always identified myself as hip hop soul
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
because I'm really a rapper in my head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just, you know, I'm better with the runs than I am with the bars. You know, so that was my, you know, my gift was more so, you know, but I was always, you know, very close and adjacent to hip hop, you know, aesthetically. And that's why a lot of my music is, you know, is the way that it is. And there was always a disconnect, I feel, whenever people would categorize me as R&B, because even though I'm capable of making it, and apparently I'm capable of making it, you know, pretty well,
Mm-hmm.
it's not really, you know, it's how can I put it? Here's an analogy that I use. I say, you know, me making what people consider R&B music, or people considering me R&B music, it just means that I was just really good at my job.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That was my job that I'm proud of, and I'm
Mhm.
grateful
Yeah.
that I was even able to do.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a difference between doing your job and doing you.
Yeah, facts.
So when it came time to work on this project, I wasn't even thinking about making the album. I was just trying to find out, where am I going to go? Because I did what I did. I gave for 20 years of that. Okay, cool. I want to start making the kind of music that I want to make. And, you know, my guys kept asking me, what does that sound like? I was like, bro, I don't know. I ain't done it yet. Like, I have it in here, but I got to do it and I got to hear it. That's what I was looking for when I would keep coming to the crib, you know,
Mhm.
working on your beats. I was looking for it. I was trying
Did
to
you
find.
find it?
I found
Oh,
I found a couple things. Going there, yeah. I found
we
it.
found
And this is on Victim and
No, not yet.
No,
No,
not
it's
yet.
a whole
Okay,
nother-
this
it's
you done
something-
work. You done
we
got
got-
something.
Yeah.
Oh, see.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like, that's a whole.
You
nother-
working?
That's a whole nother.
You
Yeah, we
working?
got an album
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
you know?
So
You always got something sneaky going on.
no,
you
but
know.
he for real do though.
he do. I
Like,
know.
some folks just be talking.
He always got
I
something
just
going
be
on.
working.
Yeah. So
Drumma be working.
Can't tell him everything.
no. So
Oh.
when I worked when the connection happened with that, you know what I'm saying, we linked on the DMs and I pulled up to LA. Next thing you know, I'm in the studio with bro and I'm like, hey man, I'm a fan. He was like, yeah man, I'm a fan too.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. He played me some beats. I started working that night.
It's like LeBron and D Wade get
I started
together.
working
yeah,
that night, man.
Like,
it's
I'm
undeniable.
good at what
Yeah.
I do. You good at what
Yeah.
you do. It's amazing
Let's
to work
work.
with people that.
And
are
I got
good
to
at
shout
what
out.
they
I got
do.
to shout out my writing partner, Alex. He got a
Ooh.
studio
Alex.
called Layers.
Mm.
You know, out in Ellenwood. Y'all should pull up.
I will when I come to LA.
Okay. No, out here.
Okay.
I was in Atlanta.
It's in
Okay.
Ellenwood. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need-
So yeah, and because if I didn't, I met him 2012, 2013, something like that. Don't quote me on the year, but something like that. But after the shutdown, man, like I lost it. I lost sight of the road. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was doing. I wanted to stop.
After
I ain't get
COVID,
it. Yeah, I ain't get it no more. I understand what was happening. Like people consuming music different. People not paying attention or care that much. Like I didn't understand. I didn't.
Yeah.
I done feel
And I'd have been.
too.
I'm 20 years in. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm old school now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the shifted. You know, and it's not that I wanted to stop. It's just that I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I had just put out 2 projects that caught a brick. I was
Right.
like,
And you coming from being a
Okay.
platinum artist.
yeah, but
Gold.
my guys was trying to explain to me, you know, my managers, whatever, they was like, dude, that's not what happened. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you what happened. What happened was the project wasn't presented according to how people were used to it being presented. People used to seeing me with the whole production.
Mm-hmm.
But the last 2 projects, well, you know, before this one, I was essentially indie.
Mm-hmm.
So there wasn't a lot of push. So it didn't reach a lot of people. So
Right.
what I kept running into is that people didn't know about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that they didn't like it. They just didn't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, and it took me a couple years to kind of get out of that rut because it really messed with me. Like, I was like, oh, folks ain't feeling me no more. Okay, well, I guess I got to pack it on up. And then there was some other shenanigans that was happening at the time that I don't want to get into because then I would have to like air out some folks.
That behind the scenes on that
Yeah,
marketing is a beast, man. Like,
Yeah.
that label might
Like,
push
people don't
one button.
understand. People don't understand, like, a
I'm
lot of
saying,
money.
was it the situation you talking about? Was it with a label and how you feel
No.
like you was being treated, or was it
No.
with like personal?
It was closer.
Oh, like management, like up in your
You could say that.
face, family.
That
type thing.
and you know, in conjunction with, strangers that was getting VIP treatment that shouldn't have.
Gotcha.
And it was messing up my name. And I was running into promoters,
That was telling you.
that was coming at me. They wasn't telling me, they was coming at me out of being on the receiving end of people representing me as if that was me. Because how would they know? They speaking on my behalf, so they feel like, well, if he with the shits, then bro must be with the shits.
Yeah.
Because
They gotta
he
be
here.
talking.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people was doing stuff that I didn't know.
Scammers.
A lot of opportunities missed.
So I spent the last probably like 3 years, me and my booking agent and my managers spent about the good part of the past 3 years just trying to clean my name up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Cause we had a banger on one of those albums. Me and Jerry Wonder did Waiting Still. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know you did it.
Yeah, that's me and Jerry.
Yeah,
Wonder.
I ain't
got
know that.
Credit my name on it.
Yeah. But see, for me, now the experience for me on that project, that was a publishing nightmare for me. Yeah, because that's when I was like, okay, I can't keep doing these projects the way that I'm doing them because it's too many people got to say, and my voice is not being heard. So shout out and respect because Lil Ronnie is on it too. You know what I'm saying? I got project like, and it's not that I don't have a problem working with people. It's just that when stuff is not explained to me, and I feel like I'm being finessed, like I don't like that. So that interferes with my ability to perform because I don't feel comfortable. Yeah. I'm worrying about. I was supposed to get it's old news now, but I was supposed to get a Buster feature, but I couldn't pay him or I couldn't give him publishing. So he was like, bro, I'm gonna need one. Like I'm saying, I'm not about to get these bars for free. And I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, fam. I ain't got neither. So I'm gonna have to respectfully decline on that feature. I don't want to, but I don't want to ask you, you know what I'm saying, or put you in a situation or whatever. As bad as I want this feature, and he was like, yo,
that honesty,
I respect that.
Yeah, because this
you know what I'm saying?
This next one we're gonna circle back and what you say?
Yeah.
What you say?
But I felt so bad about that. I felt so bad about that, and I was like, yeah, this can't happen again, man. Like I need to get a tighter grip on my situation where I can call better shots, but I can't if everybody got their hand in the pot. Like, so that's when I started. I said, okay, I really can't do much with the Musiq Soulchild brand because that's already where it is, and I'm gonna have to wait for that to clear up because it's too much traffic over there.
So you started rapping.
That's why I started doing the hustle shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and again, the hustle is not a rapper. I don't want to get that confused. There's rappers out there. The hustle is not rapping. Like the hustle is rap-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the hustle is not a rapper. Well, it was never intended to be a rapper, and I think that's what people got it confused because they was looking for all of these bars, and like that's not what this is. The hustle is auto-tune music. I'm just having fun. It just feel good now, but it's intended to be, inspirational because if you hear what I'm talking about, all I did was I took the essence of my day-to-day, getting up, grinding, getting it, you know what I'm saying, waking up too early, staying up too late, keep going until I figure it out. Like I took that mentality and turned it into a personality. That's what the name hustle comes from. Okay. Because anybody that's doing anything is you're on your hustle. Everything is a hustle. Now it's a matter of whether it works for you or against you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the hustle, that's why, and I took that concept from the game. I just thought it was a cool name, or the future, just like all of these, these, like you're not a person, you're an energy.
That's a TV series.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what the hustle was intended to be. But I think people thought that they thought I was, I was too old to be trying to be hip with these kids. Like that's not what was happening.
Yeah.
What was happening was I moved to Atlanta. I was inspired by the Atlanta and the Southern sound, and I wanted to be a contributor to that because everybody was coming to me like I'm the authority on music. About something, man. Don't you think these kids is messing up the game? Like, no, I just think that this is what they on. And I actually
like it.
As a matter of fact, I'm finna join up. Yeah, give me a little name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So
ain't nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. But I think
that's what artists do.
Yeah, people's doing too much, man. People was doing too
much.
That
sounds like a TV series.
So, but I took my foot off the gas because I felt like I was doing it wrong, but I didn't understand how toxic social media was.
No, it's a mess.
I was taking it too seriously.
Yeah, you can't.
When
You know what
talking
I'm
about you listen
It
to
have to be fake page.
Yeah. I didn't know because I'm not because I'm not on. I'm not. You stupid.
I be letting them have it. They don't know. Come on my page. I'm making them erase
because I didn't know because I didn't know I wasn't on there, so I didn't understand. I'm thinking like it's real life.
Yeah.
And in real life, you get punched in the face
for saying that.
like who you
For
talking
saying
to?
that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I can't be
13-year-old
here, man. I can't be here. I can't be here.
You gotta play with the ass.
I told my publicist,
play
she
with
was like, you need to post more. You need to post more. I mean, we talking about, 2015, 2014, 2015. You know what I'm saying? She's like, you need to post more. I was like, I ain't got to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
you mess with me,
like
I'll mess
that
around,
now.
find out what this person is and pull up.
Yeah.
Like, that's how crazy it gets. Because people are disrespectful. And I realized, like, bro, why you got these people? Got you with your feelings like
Yeah,
this.
that ain't nobody.
What is wrong? And then that's why I had to check myself. Like, fam, you got a lot of unresolved stuff, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you a legend though, man. Like it's like
I love
Sade
you.
and
Yeah.
certain people,
Yeah.
they be mysterious and you don't see
Yeah.
what they doing. You don't see every little thing.
I'm not trying to be
Mhm.
mysterious. I'm just not trying to be in whatever that is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, hey, y'all could do whatever y'all want to do. Just leave me out of it.
So like you like being like a legend. I know you done probably been to BET millions of times or won BET.
13 Grammy nominations.
13
yeah.
Grammy
Come
nom-
on.
all
Yeah.
that.
Come on.
How did you feel about the BET Awards this year?
I didn't catch it.
You didn't catch it?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I kind of started tuning out on a lot of
Awards
stuff.
and stuff.
Yeah. I had some very not good experiences with a lot of that stuff, so I get triggered. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So I just, I be in support of everybody.
Yeah.
You know, especially when I used to do the carpet, and I'd be on autopilot, and I'd be like, people like, I would hear like the line of questioning. I was like, bro, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm here to support everybody.
Yeah.
I don't not like
People always
nobody.
trying to divide us and separate us with
Nah,
this
but don't you
and
think
that.
like? No, I don't think that. I think they're just different.
Yeah. They got their way.
I have
got
my
mine.
opinion.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I started realizing this ain't the place for me, man. So that's when I stopped pulling up the places because
Mhm.
I'm out here, being, authentic and trying to be, genuine or whatever. And I'm getting critiqued, and I'm like, dude,
It's
I
too
don't
much.
get to speak my mind.
Do you think,
Oh, y'all don't care about what I really think. Y'all just want me to say
That's
my
how they
lines.
do.
Okay, yeah, okay, cool.
do
Y'all
you
go ahead
think-
and y'all go ahead. I'm gonna stay home.
do you think not drinking, not smoking, and just like being sober, sometimes for me, honestly, like for me to go do the red carpet or whatnot, I can do it sober,
Mm-hmm.
but like dealing with dumb questions and
I
like
feel
being
like
approached by so
I-
many
I-
people,
I
I gotta be
commend-
on something.
I commend anybody. No, real.
For
I
real.
commend anybody that can function like that. I'm not able to function like that. You know what I'm saying? So to not put myself in that
So
type.
you
of,
don't drink alcohol at all. Not
mm-mm,
even champagne,
mm-mm,
not
mm-mm,
wine.
mm-mm.
No smoke.
Nothing.
I did it
no
for a
nothing.
minute,
And, it
and I was like, yeah, this ain't for me.
mm-hmm.
It was cool for a hot second. I ain't gonna front. I had my moments. I was nice. It was nice. It was cool.
Yeah.
But I started running into complications with it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I would end up trying to do too much while I'm trying to be buzzed. Like it was like,
Yeah.
no, that's not the point. I think you're doing it wrong, bro. Like either go ahead and just lean into it or don't do it at all.
Don't do
Yeah.
it
You
at
know,
all.
so I was like, cool. I'm not gonna do it at
I'm
all.
one of them people. I'm on the fence. I like to just like drink here and there. I can't drink every day. I have to take long breaks in
Mhm.
between drinking.
Definitely.
But I'm definitely a smoker. But I don't really. The alcohol don't do me right.
Yeah,
Like
I save it.
especially as I
it
get
happened.
older.
I was just about to say that. I think that's what
Yeah.
happened for me.
Yeah.
I started getting older, and my waking up started getting real interesting.
It's terrible.
That vertigo started kicking in. I'm like, hey,
It's like, wait a minute.
yeah, I can't keep doing this,
Can't
man.
you gotta
function.
save it
Yeah.
for certain moments.
Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? You gotta turn up
BT.
responsibly.
I love
Rolling
that.
loud,
I love
certain-
that. I
But
love
to your
that.
point, you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily, like actively condone and encourage it or whatever. But I
Mhm.
do understand it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody want, if you just want to kind of just move, you know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? I think it contributes to your ability of not taking everything so seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Or
you're
it
able-
can make you take everything too
Well, that's
serious,
when you went too far.
That's when you
but
went
see,
too
but you got to
far.
learn. You
That's
got to
when you went
learn
too
what
far.
you're drinking. Like,
That's-
okay,
And
that was the rule in
was
my
champagne
house.
made me do that,
Yeah.
or was it the white, or
Yeah.
was it the dark?
Yeah, that too.
So,
Or
yeah.
just your drinking limit. Like
Yeah.
I had that
And
rule in
plus,
my
as
house
a-
with the girls.
and
Yeah,
plus,
yeah.
as that, like I led with, hydrate.
Yeah, water.
You gotta hydrate, man.
Mhm.
You gotta hydrate, and depending on what you're drinking, eat something, man.
Yeah.
Don't be out here. Anyway,
You know,
Let me
people
get-
at
let
the
me- let me
party
get-
and
let
they
me get
get
off my
cutting
soapbox.
up.
Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
They be cutting up real bad and
because
just
folks,
drinking.
Yeah.
hard-headed, man. God bless y'all.
Yeah,
But,
God bless y'all.
But yeah, so I stopped pulling up to spaces, after a while because I just started realizing that it wasn't for me, and it ain't my place. I ain't trying to take no shot at nobody. I'm just saying it's not for me. It's a lot of personalities that I just don't. I'm not compatible with. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to people in this industry. Because it takes a certain type of personality in order to be able to thrive in this in certain ways. And some people got it. I don't. I'm going to admit that I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no chill when somebody talking to me crazy. I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm a wild out.
I wouldn't.
It's just that I'm just
no
gonna
chill. So.
Yeah.
I never have
But
chill.
Sober though, it's a wrap.
but all that does is
Yeah.
help me understand like this is not the space for you.
Yeah.
So when I started peeping that, and not so that I don't keep showing up, you know what I'm saying, in environments that's gonna bring out, the worst in anybody.
Mhm.
I'm not a swing on you type person.
Yeah.
However, at the same time, you're not gonna play me though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I started realizing, all right, there's ways that you can function without showing up everywhere. And that's when I had, my peoples, they come out and represent me. But unfortunately, you gotta make sure you got the right people, because some people, they'll show up for you
And misrepresent.
you.
Mhm.
And that's what I had to spend, these past 3 years clearing my name up. Like I fell out with a few people behind somebody else.
Doing wrong.
And how can you come back from that and be like, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It's like, yeah, but
Yeah.
they were only here for you.
Yeah.
So let me tell you don't talk to your own people. So why are they even here speaking on your behalf?
I hate when niggas do that. It wasn't me. Oh, I'm gonna put
Yeah.
I'ma
So,
put
and I know
everybody
that.
on the phone.
Yeah, because
We gonna come
somebody
down
was
to
knew
somebody
somebody.
lying. You saying you lying, but y'all pointing
But
fingers
really
at each
didn't
other.
know.
So what I did was, first thing I did was completely distance myself from that. The second thing I did was I went to work as I always been going to work, but now without them in the way. So whoever you are, you could see it wasn't me.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say it with my words. I'm gonna prove it with my actions. And that's what people started peeping. It was like, oh, this dude really be about his work. Like, yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't have possibly been.
Nah,
Yeah.
how? I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
What I look like getting on the phone and finessing folks out of bread for? For what? I can go
Yeah.
work and get my own bread.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do stuff, I take a cut just for the love, depending on the relationship. I probably shouldn't say that, but that's real because it's real.
Nothing wrong
Nah,
with
but
it.
we
You
all
a
do,
genuine
you know what I
person.
mean?
You know what I'm saying?
You can do whatever you want to do because you.
However, at
Yeah.
the same time, you can definitely get a no if it ain't right. I don't care what the situation is.
Yeah.
But you might want to, nah, I don't want to do that.
And that's
Now,
that.
I got another city over here who gonna pay me what I want, plus everything. I can bring
Because they understand the value. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have to fight. I ain't got to do all of this.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I got to tell them, okay, cool, that's solid, cool. I'll take care of this over here. And some people just insist, like, nah, man, you a
We got
legend.
everything.
We don't even worry about it. You just pull up.
Yeah,
like, oh,
facts.
We rolling out
okay,
the
cool.
carpet for
Now,
you.
what I look like going back and forth with you
Mhm.
about backline,
Mhm.
about my rider.
Mhm.
You debating with my folks about, well, do we need all of it? It's on the rider, ain't it?
Yeah.
But you asking me if I
I
need it
wonder
for.
what your rider look like.
It's
I
very
bet you.
simple.
Oh, it's simple
It's
because I've
simple.
been seeing some riders
No,
on
it's-
it.
most of my rider is equipment.
Okay,
Yeah.
which is
You know?
understandable.
Yeah, and for my room, water, towels.
Yeah.
But I done
Some
seen
tea.
some crazy riders, but I want all pink Skittles.
Okay, all right.
You
That's
know,
ridiculous.
I want a box of Popeyes.
like,
Oh, box-
damn,
That's actually that come through clutch. I ain't gonna front.
He's like, I might have
Something
to
closed,
add
man.
that.
And it'd be hard to find food. You can do a lot worse than
Yeah.
man, the
Popeyes.
closest
And
Popeye 45 minutes.
and
you
that
know,
chicken
man,
comes
you
in
gonna have to go
handy.
get it.
Yeah,
I
man.
had to
Chicken
go
comes
get
in hand. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing like a chicken wing.
Yeah.
What
saying?
advice you give to the upcoming musician, artist?
Creative person. The first thing that you got to deal with or accept or get comfortable with is the fact that you different, bro. You just are. You was chose, man. Like, it is what it is. You're not gonna fit, so it's always gonna be a little weird. Don't feel bad about it, and don't allow that weird and awkwardness, what I'm saying, to be used against you. Lean into it, Find out what it is so that you can maximize off of it and be a blessing, the blessing that you was intended to be for other people. We are what we are for the people that can't, and not because they're incapable of, because they're not good enough or whatever, because they have a different calling. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody can't be LeBron. Everybody can't be, you know, on anybody that, you know, is considered, you know, top of their game and doing it at a high level. Everybody can't be that. But what people like that are something to give other people something to aspire towards. If you got something locked within you and you don't know what to do with it, there's somebody out there that's doing it at a high level that can help you understand what it looks like outside of you, so that it can give you some kind of roadmap to go to where you might not even end up in that, you know, same position where they are. You might end up going past them, you know, but they needed to be there to begin with, so to inspire somebody like you. So I'm saying all of this to say, it feel weird in the beginning, and this is like real life. I'm talking from my life. It feel real weird because you're not gonna find or see nobody like you. You know, especially if you got something really, really special. You know, you got some people, they don't feel special, or they feel like it's a lot of them, or they in a lot of traffic because you might not be in the right lane. You know, that's why you in traffic. But if you being you, there's no traffic because you're in your own lane, right? But you're not gonna be in your own lane chasing behind trying to be like somebody else. So it's gonna be different. It's gonna be weird, but lean into it. You know, be confident in who and what you are. You know, try to find a more productive way, because there's a lot of destructive ways where you could be different. You know, so I don't encourage that, because that's, you know, that's crazy. You know, please understand what I'm trying to say, because everybody, you know, think that they're a star. Just because you got to, you know, broadcasting yourself to the world, that don't make you a star. It just means you somebody that somebody else see. You know, what value are you providing to somebody else? And your difference or your uniqueness, you know, your creativity and your gift, that's going to be the value that you can provide to the world. And you never know what it's going to turn out to be. So just follow it, you know, be encouraged, surround yourself with people who encourage and support you, and be supportive and encouraging to other people, because that's how energy works, man. You get back what you give out. So, you know, I know this is a very vague way, you know, because some people be looking like, you know, what's the step-by-step process? There is no step-by, because it's different for everybody.
Exactly.
But with everybody, what I learned, my observation is, the more authentic and the more true to yourself you are, the further you're going to go, because it's not going to matter what's going on at the time. If you locked into what's going on at the time, then you're going to get washed out when that gets washed out and the new wave come in. So don't lock yourself into nothing that's happening, that's popping right now. If you want to, you want to mess with it, cool, but don't let that be your identity. You know, you need to be outside of that, so that when it moves, you can move with it. You can just pivot, you know what I'm saying? And but still be you. You won't looking like a clown out here trying a whole bunch of stuff, trying to fit in, you know, because people smell that, you know, and it's cute for like 2 seconds, but when that run out, it's like we on to the next, and you going to get thrown out with the trash. So be confident in what you are, but you got to find out what that is. Lock in. Spend some time with yourself. You know, you got some healing to do, which a lot of us do, you know, do that. You got some, you know, past crap that you got to address. You know, you ain't got to address everybody, you know, about it, but at least address it within yourself. You know, have that inner dialogue. You know what I'm saying? If you got to look at yourself in the mirror and talk to yourself. I don't necessarily think that, but if it works, it works. You know what I'm saying? Go get therapy. Go find a professional that can help you navigate in these streets, man, because, you know, thoughts and feelings, they get crazy, you know. But if a person, you got somebody, you know what I'm saying, it don't have to be a therapist that you got to pay, because people feel weird about that. I'm about to pay somebody to tell all my business, blah, blah, blah. Find a family member, find somebody you close to, find an OG that can kind of put you on game, like really, but talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Don't
that
keep it in.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because that, by talking about it, you'll be able to hear it differently, and then get the feedback from somebody that you respect. They can help you be, you know, put you on a better track. So even just to be like, what are you talking about? Like, where you getting that from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been thinking like this whole time? Nah, man, that's not what that is. You know, and kind of like give you a better perspective. All of this matters. And I know, you know, people be, you know, be weirded out, you know, when I start answering this kind of question, because a lot of people give them these canned answers. But I don't know how to do that, because I don't know how much that helps. It might not. You know, find the right people and talk to this person and get with this crew and pay this amount of money. That might work, you know what I'm saying, for certain reasons. But what I know is that at the end of the day, before all of that, if you do all of that and you ain't right, all of that would have been a waste. So I highly encourage people to lock in with themselves, you know, because there's somebody else out there going through what you're going through. You just got the opportunity to get in a position where you could talk about it, you know. So I take what I do seriously. That's why I'm out the way, because I don't want to be associated with stuff that I don't want to be associated with, you know, because, you know, and people have the right to live their lives and do whatever they want, and they learn their lessons and they have their experiences however they need. But I moved the way that I moved because I already went through all of that. I've been there, I've done that, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm focused on how can I enhance, how can I encourage, how can I inspire, you know? So, but I got to do that with me first. And that's why I feel like I had to go through all the shenanigans that I went through, people taking advantage of me and, you know, disrespecting my name and, you know, lying on me and, you know, all of that stuff. But I never wanted to come forward with it because it's like, everybody got a story to tell. Everybody got struggles and challenges. You know what I'm saying? Well, I look like on social media crying all the time because somebody did something to me. Like, I don't, you know, now some people need to do that for protection. I get that.
Right.
But I don't, you know, I don't want to do that because I want to come back with the result, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to understand, like, oh, bro, know what you're talking about because I've been through it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not just here talking, like,
Yeah.
it happened, you know what I'm saying?
This.
Yeah, I lived it.
Yeah.
And here is the game, you know what I'm saying? So that hopefully you don't have to go through, or at least if you do go through it, you're more prepared than I was because I wasn't.
Perseverance.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yes.
prepared, you know what I'm saying? But apparently I was built for this. So I'm grateful.
Still here today.
I'm grateful.
We sitting here
I'm grateful.
interviewing you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Legendary.
What's coming up in the future? Any last words you want to shout out?
No, I'm just grateful for everybody supporting. You know what I'm saying? I'm still working on. I'm still putting out videos for the Victims and Villains project.
Yeah, because
yeah.
you're doing one for every
Yeah.
song.
Every song.
Okay.
And this next one
Album
is
is
actually.
crazy.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yes.
For those who don't know, Victims and Villains,
Victims
produced by
and
Hit Boy.
Villains.
Produced by Hit Boy. It's 10 songs. I'm about to release the 6th video. On my YouTube page, Musiq
Shout out to the
Soulchild.
Key to the City too, man. We
Oh
got
yeah,
Key to the
yeah,
City.
yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And so,
Memphis just been giving out keys.
This Atlanta.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
had
yeah,
to say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, I be throwing shots.
Yeah.
God,
Mm.
You
Anyway,
don't-
back to you.
you don't even play the radio. God,
Back to what you were
so
saying.
yeah,
You got the key to Atlanta.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I'm just working on music. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we talked about stuff that we're working on.
Steve and Marjorie Harvey
Yeah.
Foundation.
Yeah.
Bringing music back to schools, bro. That is so important. That is so important. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm trying to do whatever I can to use, the light that I have on me to kind of shine on that subject, because I feel like a lot of our issues, not just creatively but professionally, is due to the lack of, education, and there's a disconnect, between what we do and what people think it is. I think the bar has been moved, a lot of it, and a lot of people getting participation trophies, and it's messing up the game because it's making it challenging for people to identify real work from just smoke and mirrors. And everybody deserve a time to shine. I get that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hate on nobody's minutes. But there's levels to this, and there is a tradition, and people put time in. You know what I'm saying? They really talk about some stuff that people need, and it's kind of hard for people to get what they need out of it if it's all of this stuff in the way. So I feel like things could be better curated, but that's a bigger undertaking that I'm able to do anything about. But the least I could do is encourage people to focus more so on educating the youth, so that maybe in the future this thing has a chance to be better. You know what I'm saying? So maybe like 5-10 years from now, people will appreciate a Musiq Soulchild or a Drumma better. You know what I'm saying? Understand what it is that we're trying to accomplish versus charting our success according to the numbers that we do.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Is that
bro, that could
something?
be anything.
Right.
Was
Look at the
the
time
charity-
that I put in the community. Look at
Yeah.
what I did and gave back. Look at how I'm sacrificing my time.
Right.
This is literally my life.
Yeah.
It's
Is
a
the
song to you, but it's my life.
is the foundation something that you came up with, Marjorie and Stevie, or
No, I came
they
up
already
with,
had it?
I came up with, and my publicist Mocha, was able to connect us together. And
Okay, good.
And he was gracious enough to contribute.
Wow.
So I'm
Yeah.
really
Shout out
grateful.
to Steve.
Yeah,
man.
I'm
Shout out to
grateful.
Marjorie,
Steve.
That man is doing
That's
a lot.
unit of Memphis.
Marjorie,
That man
Memphis
is
chick
that
like
dude.
me.
I mean, he working on a green drink now. He got
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
and like
He's working, man. He
Yo,
got
bro,
all kind of
he's working on a lot of stuff. I think he just went live with not too long ago, where he's trying to get folks to understand. He sat with some very professional people, medically professional people who really did a lot of research, and him being plus 60, he was like, yo, I was starting to feel bad and watching folks, I grew up with having all these issues. I'm thinking, what can I do? I got all this energy, but if my body can't keep up, then what am I doing? So, him and his crew and his team that he connected with, they figured out a way to put it all in a drink. Yeah, I think it's called Elevate.
I'm gonna try.
I think it's called Elevate.
You gotta try that, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just found out about it, so, and he been on that journey for a minute.
I've been hearing about it.
Yeah, he been trying to get his diet together for years, man. I mean, but look at him now. I just saw him recently. Like,
looking good.
You look. I hope I look like that when I turn 60.
Right. We on the trend
motivation.
Yeah, man. Like, he look good for his age. So
Absolutely.
he must be doing something right, and shout out to Marjorie Harvey as well, because apparently, she was very instrumental in that process as well. So, yeah, man. Like, but yeah, bringing music back to schools. I was working with the
back to school.
Utopian Academy, out in Ellenwood. Actually, they just graduated their middle school, and I participated in that. It was fun. We did a song. It was cool.
That's what's
Okay.
up.
Kids are bright, man.
Yeah.
They are. They so special.
The future is secure, but it's like they need to be presented with opportunities.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and be encouraged, and that's why I wanted because people like to be like, oh, you like, yeah, me, like me, yes, I can come there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody special where I can't come and talk to some kids, man.
Exactly.
Especially the kids,
That's
man.
amazing,
Like,
man.
dude, you
We
gotta
love
say
the
something,
kids.
and especially if you're doing something that people know, love, and respect. That's the least I could do. I'm actually, but I I'll go a little bit further. I'm actually an ambassador of music for that school.
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, I got a jacket and everything. Says Musiq
Oh
Soulchild.
yes.
Ambassador of
Look,
music.
he's
Yeah.
like, I got my
Yeah,
jacket.
yeah, I'm
That's
pretty
big.
proud of that.
That's major.
what's
Yeah,
up.
they
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah,
Because the kids, they that's the future.
yeah,
So they gonna grow up and you're gonna be a part of what molded them into what they are.
yeah.
Like I remember stuff like that happened in my childhood.
exactly. And
Going
people
to
come
the
to my
mayor's
come to this.
office.
Yeah.
He said I could sit in this chair and he said you
Yeah.
could be anything
And
you
you have
wanna
no
be.
idea
And it
what
opens
those
up
little
your
moments.
imagination.
Yeah, I'll
man,
never
can
forget
do.
that.
Because that's how,
Yeah.
because kids operate in a different reality than adults. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Stuff hit kids different than they do adults. And I
Facts.
think a lot of adults, tend to address kids like they have the same perspective as adults. Like, no, they're kids. Their brains are still developing.
Mhm.
Stuff, they miss stuff sometimes. Like, you got to understand, they're still, that's what being immature is. So you
Mhm.
can't expect so much out of them. Expect the best out of them, but also understand that they are where they are with it. They
Mhm.
still got a
They're
lot of
learning.
growing to do. So like give them the tools that they can use in order to do better, so that when they do get older, they can kind of push this thing forward, and everything that we've done ain't in vain
Yeah.
and going down the drain. So that's why I
Absolutely.
wanted to do that. But outside of that, I'm still putting out music, and I was about to say earlier about my writing partner, of how working with him kind of helped me after the shutdown, because stuff got really dark and I didn't know what to do, because I didn't know what people wanted. I was going to shows and people was complaining about me doing new songs, and I'm like, but I'm putting out new music. But that's when I found out these songs were foreign to them because they didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So they would go complain to the promoters, like, he up there doing songs we don't know. He could have did my song. It's like, no, ma'am, I was performing the new song off my new album that you just told on yourself you don't have.
Yeah.
Why don't you have it?
Yeah.
Are you my fan or not?
But then I couldn't say that, because it's not that they're not a fan.
They don't
didn't
know.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
They
all
know.
of these things I didn't understand. So it was really weird for a period of time. I was really confused. But I locked in with my writing partner, and when we got to LA and started working with Hit Boy, and we just started recording records, it just kept coming. And this was like, I think like at the end of 20, something like that.
2020.
21, at the end of 21, actually.
Mhm.
It was at the end of 21.
Pandemic,
And you held your records
COVID.
until
Yeah, it
So
was,
many
it was
different
but I
things
was
going
I was just recording. I wasn't working on an album. I was just recording songs, because I was recording anyway. I was doing features.
yeah.
With random artists. I
Yeah.
was popping up all types of places, just so that, because like I was hanging by a thread, man.
Yeah.
And someone was like, bro, just keep recording. I know it don't make no sense to you right now, but just keep recording. Just stay close to it. Stay close to it, man. Stay close to it. And I was just, and he would just keep, he would get the record started, and I was like,
What's the songwriter name again?
Alex.
Man, big shout out to
Yeah.
Alex, man. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
all
For
about
being
the
that spark.
layers.
We glad you back.
Yeah.
We
I'm
are.
saying?
I'm excited
Yeah.
about
Well, I
it.
mean, I'm here.
hustle.
I'm here. Hey.
It sound like
Don't play
trap
with me.
dime.
Don't play with me.
To these new
Don't play with me.
projects
Don't
you
play
got
with me.
coming.
Don't play
You
with
know
me.
what I'm saying? And we gotta have you back on the show. man.
I'm here because y'all keep asking for me. Y'all keep pulling up to the
Yeah.
shows. Y'all keep,
Yes.
bringing my name up. So as long as y'all still care, I'ma still show up.
Man, salute to
As
you,
you
brother.
should.
Oh, thank you.
Big salute to you, man.
I enjoyed
We got
this.
some exclusives coming, man, but
Yeah.
we finna get up out of here.
Okay, cool.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm
You
act
in
like
the
I'm not late for my
beats.
session.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Hey,
gotta go, y'all. Beauty and the
like
Beats.
that.
We out.
All right.